Over 300,000 people are now affected by devastating floods in Assam, India, as emergency services struggle to manage the crisis. Here's an in-depth look at the situation, its implications, and what could happen next. On July 31st, 2026, Assam, India, is grappling with catastrophic flooding that has affected more than 300,000 residents. The situation escalated rapidly after heavy monsoon rains triggered riverbank breaches and landslides, leading to widespread displacement and destruction. Reports indicate that the Brahmaputra River surged to alarming levels, submerging entire villages and disrupting infrastructure. As of this morning, the State Disaster Response Force has been deployed to assist with rescue operations across the hardest-hit districts, including Dhamaji and Lakhimpur. Local authorities reported that over 60,000 hectares of agricultural land are underwater, threatening food security for the coming months. Historically, Assam has been prone to seasonal flooding due to its geographical location and the monsoon pattern, which brings heavy rainfall from June to September. This year's floods have been particularly devastating, with rainfall levels exceeding averages by nearly 40%. The rapid onset of flooding has overwhelmed local preparedness measures, leaving many communities vulnerable and unprotected. In addition to the immediate dangers posed by rising waters, the flooding has also led to outbreaks of waterborne diseases, raising concerns among health officials. Hospitals are already reporting an increase in cases of cholera and dysentery, further straining the already limited healthcare resources in the region. The impact of this disaster extends far beyond the immediate devastation. The loss of agricultural land not only threatens food security, but also jeopardizes the livelihoods of thousands of farmers who depend on these lands for their income. The economic repercussions could be felt for years, as recovery efforts will require significant resources and time. Furthermore, the displacement of families raises concerns about long-term housing solutions and the psychological toll on affected individuals, particularly children. Looking ahead, authorities are mobilizing resources to provide immediate relief and begin long-term recovery efforts. The state government has called for emergency funding to address infrastructure repairs and health services, while NGOs are stepping up to provide essential supplies. As the situation unfolds, it will be crucial for both local and national governments to implement effective flood management strategies. This will not only mitigate future risks, but also ensure that vulnerable populations are better protected in the face of climate change and its unpredictable consequences. The recent floods in Assam have created a humanitarian crisis that is escalating at an alarming rate. Over 300,000 individuals have been affected, with families being forced to evacuate their homes and seek refuge in makeshift shelters. The local governments are struggling to cope with the urgent needs of these displaced individuals, reporting critical shortages of clean drinking water, food supplies, and medical assistance in temporary shelters. The situation has prompted urgent appeals for aid from both national and international organizations, highlighting the pressing need for coordinated relief efforts. Assam, located in northeast India, is prone to seasonal flooding, particularly during the monsoon months. The state's agricultural sector, a crucial part of its economy, is particularly vulnerable. This year, thousands of hectares of crops have been submerged, jeopardizing the livelihoods of farmers who are already grappling with the aftermath of previous flooding events. The long-term economic implications could be severe, as the destruction of crops may lead to food shortages and inflated prices for staple goods. This situation could exacerbate poverty levels in the region, affecting not only the immediate victims, but also the broader population reliant on agriculture. Politically, the disaster has intensified scrutiny on local and state governments regarding their preparedness and response capabilities for seasonal floods. Public pressure is mounting as citizens demand accountability and effective action to mitigate future disasters. The floods serve as a stark reminder of the need for improved infrastructure and disaster management strategies in vulnerable areas. The implications of these floods extend beyond Assam, resonating globally. The potential for increased food prices could impact international markets, particularly in regions dependent on imports from India. Furthermore, As extreme weather events become more frequent due to climate change, discussions surrounding environmental policy and disaster preparedness are likely to gain momentum. Looking ahead, it is crucial for both government agencies and humanitarian organizations to collaborate effectively to address the immediate needs of affected communities. Long-term strategies must also be implemented to enhance resilience against future flooding, ensuring that both the people of Assam and the agricultural sector can recover and thrive in the face of adversity. The current flooding crisis in Assam has reached alarming levels, affecting thousands of families and displacing entire communities. This catastrophic situation is the culmination of years of environmental mismanagement and climate-related factors. The monsoon season typically brings heavy rains to the region, but recent years have seen an increase in rainfall intensity and frequency. This concerning pattern is widely believed to be linked to climate change, which has caused significant shifts in weather patterns globally. Additionally, rampant deforestation in the Himalayas has severely reduced the land's capacity to absorb rainfall, leading to increased runoff into rivers that are already swollen from heavy rains. Historical data indicates that Assam has faced significant floods in previous years. However, the cumulative effects of climate change and poor land management practices have exacerbated the severity of this year's situation. The state government has faced mounting criticism for its inadequate flood response infrastructure. Many residents argue that more proactive measures should have been taken to prepare for this annual occurrence. Despite lessons learned from previous floods, these insights have not been effectively integrated into current disaster management strategies, leaving communities vulnerable to such catastrophic events. The economic impact is expected to be profound, as local agriculture, an essential part of Assam's economy, suffers devastating losses. Looking ahead, experts emphasize the urgent need for comprehensive flood management policies that prioritize sustainable land use and reforestation efforts. There is a consensus that immediate action is crucial to mitigate future disasters. Strengthening local infrastructure and enhancing community preparedness will be vital in building resilience against the increasingly unpredictable impacts of climate change. The time for decisive action is now, as the people of Assam face an uncertain future shaped by environmental challenges. As the situation in Assam continues to develop, the region grapples with the aftermath of severe flooding that has displaced thousands. Heavy monsoon rains have inundated vast areas, causing rivers to overflow and submerging entire villages. The immediate focus will be on rescue and relief operations, with government officials and NGOs mobilizing resources to provide essential assistance to the affected population. Local authorities are working tirelessly to ensure that those displaced receive food, shelter, and medical care. However, if heavy rains persist, the flooding could worsen, potentially leading to even more extensive evacuations and long-term displacement of communities already vulnerable to such natural disasters. The economic impact on agriculture is a significant concern, as many farmers have lost their crops and livestock, threatening their livelihoods. Assam's economy relies heavily on agriculture, and this disaster may force the government to seek emergency funds to support affected farmers. Rising food prices could affect not just the local economy, but also contribute to inflation on a national scale. Additionally, the floods may prompt a re-evaluation of disaster preparedness strategies in Assam, highlighting the need for improved infrastructure and response mechanisms. Experts are advocating for more stringent environmental policies aimed at preventing future crises, including better land use planning and enhanced flood management systems. This catastrophe underscores the urgency of addressing climate change and its impact on weather patterns. In the coming weeks, it will be crucial for officials to monitor weather forecasts and river levels closely to anticipate further flooding. The lessons learned from this disaster could shape future policies and preparedness efforts. As communities begin to rebuild, there is an opportunity for collective action to strengthen resilience against such natural disasters, ensuring that Assam is better prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. What should we prioritize as a society to mitigate the impacts of such natural disasters in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily deep dives.